From the Des Moines Register, 2 former lieutenant governors of the state of Iowa. I'm sure the presiding officer knows both of them. One a Democrat, one a Republican. And here's what they said, among other things. This is to Chuck Grassley. We thought we knew. I again repeat, 2 Iowans, former lieutenant governors, Joy Corning, a Republican, and Sally Peterson, a Democrat. Last week, former Lieutenant Governors Corning and Peterson co-authored an op-ed in the Des Moines Register, criticizing the senior senator from Iowa for abdicating his constitutional duties by blocking consideration of President Obama's Supreme Court nominee. The op-ed reads, among other things, I quote, "Iowans are known for being hard workers, and we appreciate that quality in our elected officials. We wake up every day ready to do our part and get the job done. We're also politically astute. We understand the Constitution and know when an elected official is more eager to find excuses than create solutions. Unfortunately, Senator Chuck Grassley is refusing to do his job as described in Article 2 of our Constitution, which states giving advice and consent on the President's upcoming nomination to the Supreme Court." I continue the quote. "Grassley is threatening to use his powerful post as chairman of the Judiciary Committee to block a hearing on any nominee, regardless of how well qualified he or she is. His recent column and public statements regarding the vacancy on the Supreme Court are troubling and harmful to our courts. Moreover, this isn't the Chuck Grassley we thought we knew." Close quote. This isn't the Chuck Grassley we thought we knew. Madam President, I agree with these Iowans. This isn't the senator I've come to know over the last 3 decades. The senator I knew would not cede the independence of the powerful Judiciary Committee he has served on for many decades to the Republican leader. The senator I knew wouldn't ignore his constitutional duties for the sake of election year politics. So for whatever reason, the Senator of Iowa made a fateful decision in the hours after Justice Antonin Scalia's death. He's allowing himself and his committee to be manipulated by a Republican leader for narrow partisan warfare. He's taking his orders from a Republican leader and, sadly, Donald Trump. Donald Trump on this issue, when asked about it, his words were 3. Delay, delay, delay. Senator Grassley must have been listening. The people of Iowa, without question, are displeased and disappointed with their senator. The Des Moines Register quoted one of Senator Grassley's disappointed supporters as follows, quote, "He seems to be doing what other people are saying, not what he thinks is best. That has recently colored my opinion of him in the past week." Another Iowan who supports the senator told the newspaper, quote, "I just think he's making a bad mistake. It's purely a political party play, and there isn't any space for that in this situation," close quote. Now, as each day passes, the junior senator from Iowa is trying to desperately justify his blind loyalty to the Republican leader and to Donald Trump. Senator Grassley is grasping for a rationale, anything that will excuse him from not doing his job. That desperation has now taken Senator Grassley down a very dark path. Last Thursday, senior senator from Iowa addressed the Conservative Political Action Conference called CPAC. That took place here in Washington. In his speech to them, here's what Senator Grassley said, and I quote, "I feel it's about time that we have a national debate on the Supreme Court and how it fits in with our constitutional system of government," close quote. The chairman of the Judiciary Committee is suggesting we reevaluate the Founding Fathers' work, reevaluate the Constitution of the United States, change the Constitution of the United States. Why is Senator Grassley debating what the Constitution makes clear? The Senate must provide its advice and consent on nominees appointed by the President to the Supreme Court. Think of the irony. Justice Scalia was a strict constitutionalist, and yet now in the weeks following his death, Senator Grassley wants to throw out the Constitution just because President Obama gets to pick Scalia's replacement. The former senator from Iowa, Tom Harkin, said it best yesterday, and I quote, this appeared in the Des Moines Register, "The position taken now by the majority leader and majority members of the Senate Judiciary Committee is simply astounding. and not in keeping with the strict or even loose construction of the Constitution. Close quote. The Constitution isn't some ball that you pick up and take home just because you're still mad at President Obama because he's the president. If Senator Grassley and Republicans find themselves on the wrong side of the Constitution, it's their policies that should change, not the nation's founding document, the Constitution of the United States. If Republicans are uncomfortable with not performing their duties, the answer isn't to take an eraser to the Constitution. No, we don't need an eraser to the Constitution. The answer is to do your job. The senator from Iowa wants to extricate himself from the situation he created. There's a way. All he needs to do is to wrest back his chairmanship from the Republican leader and give President Obama's nominee a meeting, a hearing, a vote. In short, he needs to do his job. It's that easy. No changes to the Constitution required. If he does his job, the people back home in Iowa won't have reason to say, this isn't the Chuck Grassley we thought we knew.